Welcome back to this chapter 25 tutorial on Microsoft Excel Visual Basic for Applications Basic to Advanced video series. In this chapter, I am going to show you how to validate the text box to ensure proper entry of data. At the end of the previous chapter, I have already explained why this validation of text box is important. Let me quickly recap this. For that, let me go to the Visual Basic, then run this user form. While entering the data here in this form, when user misses to put value in any of the text box, then the data will be improper. Also, in this particular VBA project, if the user misses to put value here in the date text box, then the second record will replace the first record, because Excel will identify the last blank cell as a row where the data should be updated. So to overcome such kind of problem and to ensure the proper entry of data, we have to validate this text box. For that, let me close this user form, then double click on the user form. Now scroll up and go to this submit procedure, and here at the beginning of the code, we have to write the codes for validating the text box. First of all, to validate the date text box, we have to use here a if statement. So type here if me.textboxDate.value equal to blank, then press enter. It means when the user clicks on the submit button and the date text box is blank, then we have to throw a message box, that is msgbox space double quotation, please enter the date, then double quotation, put a comma, then choose here VB information type, then press enter. Now when the user clicks on the OK button of the message box, then we have to exit the sub procedure. So put here exit sub, press enter, then close the if statement by putting here end if. Now this code will validate the date text box. The same way we have to validate all the remaining text box. For that, you can simply copy this part of the code and below it paste it by pressing Ctrl V. Now change the text box date to text box income expenses dot value. So make it me.textbox income expenses dot value. Then here change please enter date to please enter income/expenses. Again create a copy of the code by pressing Ctrl V. Change this date to amount and change the date text box to amount text box. Create one more copy of the code, then change this text box date to text box remarks and change this date to remarks. After writing the code here, let's test the code by clicking on the run button. The user form opens. Let me enter here a record by skipping the date. Now if I click on the submit button, here you see a message box is given, please enter the date. I have to now click on OK, then enter the date here, then resubmit the record. Let me put here a date, then click on the submit button. Now the record is submitted. Similarly, if you forget to enter the information in any of the text box, then the message box will be given. In this case, I have skipped this income and expenses and remarks. If I click on the submit, here you see the message box, please enter the income expenses is given. Click on OK and let me enter here expenses. Then click on submit. Now another message box is given, please enter the remarks, because the remarks text box is blank. Click on OK, put here some remarks, then click on the submit button and the record will be submitted. Here in this example, I haven't validated this expenses category combo box because if the income or expenses is income, then the expenses category will be blank. That is why I haven't validated this. But in your project, if this field is also compulsory, then you can put the validation for this combo box also by following the same method. So this is how we can apply the validations in text box to ensure the proper entry of data. In the next chapter, you will learn how to search data in the list box by using a text box. As you can see in the screen, when I put some value in the search box, then click on the show button, the result matching with this search criteria is displayed. If you want to practice this text box validation in Userform, you can download the sample workbook file from the video description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up by hitting on that like button. If you are visiting this channel for the first time, consider subscribing the channel to get similar video updates in future. Thank you so much for watching. See you in next chapter.